Any discussion? All in favor? Yay. Motion's approved. Approval of minutes, October the 10th, regular, October the 14th, special, October the 20th, special, October the 24th, special / walkthrough work session.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
Motion's passed. Public comments? None. Thank you. Number 5, consent agenda. Need a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
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 Motion's passed. Discussion, 6.1, discussion and approval for purchase of property.
Madam President, we have a opportunity to purchase a piece of property, which also involves one of our board members, Mr. Hutto. I understand he's not well tonight. He offered to sell us, there's a small piece of his property that crosses the road right there at 586 where the entrance to West Marion High School is. It comes out, I think it's 0.15 of an acre. We were redesigning our fence so we could create a stronger barrier for that side. We had some trouble with, I think, four-wheelers coming to it and such. So when we were cutting the fence line, that's when he came over and reiterated what actually was his property line. So in conversation when he said, look, why don't y'all just buy it? I'll just sell it. Because we had approached him a couple of years back and he declined to sell. But I think he realized it's small enough. So I recommend that you give Brian and I the permission to proceed with setting up a quick claim deed, do a little background, should be fine. Whatever, we've talked about a couple of different prices, but if you'll give me permission, I'll move forward. I'll come back to you with the final price, but whatever is reasonable price, I think it's worth to us to be able to buy that and secure that boundary there.
Okay.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any discussion?
So Brian and I will get with Mr. Hutto and determine, exactly what the buy and purchase price would be.
Okay. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 6.2, bid opening for sale of property.
As you're aware, and I think we need both of them when they come.
Well, he put it up there, it's not
Okay.
16 sections, so Ms.
Right.
Sherry can open.
So we had a couple of properties that we were looking at selling that were sort of dead properties out in different communities. This one, we actually got a bid on one of them, and that's what the bid opening's for.
Okay, it's from Michael Beasley for property bid for $1,426. I don't know how, 0.6 acres.
0.6 acres. I
0.6
think that's
acres.
a more than reasonable price. When you look at the location, it's actually in the middle, kind of in the part of that person's property already, so.
Is that out there by me?
It's
I Macy?
Kokomo,
Yeah.
where the old Kokomo School
Schoolhouse
used to be.
Street,
Yeah.
Bosworth.
Used to be the old Kokomo School.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a part of an acre that was left for whatever reason. We owned it. We did a check on the deed. So recommend we accept that bid and move forward with the sale.
Okay.
And how much was it?
$1,426. Okay, I need a motion and a
Motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Yay.
Okay.
Motion's passed. All right, 6.3, legal matters, executive session.
Madam President, we do have a slide update. I think we need to go into executive.
Yeah. Make a motion.
Okay.
Bring my key.
Keep sitting back in the team cook.
Approval of MOU between CSD and MCSD for the usage of the Marion County Carl Lofton Career and Technical Center.
Madam President, you have a copy of an MOU agreement between us and the Columbia School District. We actually had one that was still in effect, that was last signed off by the board. It had no termination date, like in 2009. Columbia School District, by default, is our consortium member. They pay for 33 1/3% of the cost of the VOTEC, where we pay 66 2/3. So I wanted to reestablish that MOU. We've met with Columbia. We're working together to build and strengthen that partnership. So recommend we approve the MOU and move forward with that relationship. Therefore, we'll ratify it as soon as we approve it tonight.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed.
And as a part of that amendment to the CTC handbook, as you notice, there's some stricken language in there, which removed language which was in contradiction to the MOU, which was still actually in effect. Columbia is our consortium partner. The other school listed there was not. So we removed that language to clean up and legally reflect what our obligation to the Columbia School District is. So recommend we amend that, and that will be filed with the CTC Center this year.
Okay.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. All righty. We got Superintendent's Report, 7.1, MDE ACT Score Report.
Madam President, I'm going to be as quick as I can. We have quite a few superintendent reports tonight. As you have seen some of these because I forwarded them to you for your review. You've had a chance to look at the ACT report. I will note that, as you can see, with surrounding districts around us, East and West Marion and the Marion County School District did pretty well. We did increase our average almost a full point. East closed the gap. West is our highest ACT score at this particular point with a 16.9. As you know, we're moving toward the 21 and then even higher than that in the coming years. We've tripled down on our efforts with ACT all the way back to sixth grade. So we're looking for, over the coming years, that's going to strengthen and get better and better. But I just wanted you to see in comparison, across the state, a lot of districts went down. Some districts have an average of 13. But our district did make gains. Both schools made gains. East closed the gap. Because, during COVID, they had dropped more than West had. But I'm very proud of the effort of our principals and our teachers and students to regain those skill sets to perform well. And that, as you know, ACT scores is all about scholarships. But we do recognize that the 16.7 for the district or the two averages for the school is not high enough. We want to continue to work, and that's why we put all these extra programs in place. So looks good, but a lot of work to do.
Okay. 7.2, GAP analysis.
All right, that is, again, I have a hard copy here for you. This report can get very complicated, but this report is what the state uses to measure subgroups within a district. If you have a subgroup that underperforms or actually does what is called increase in the gap, can put a school on improvement. As you also are aware, I recently forwarded to you a copy of the list of school districts that were identified for improvement, either TSI Targeted School Improvement or CSI Comprehensive School Improvement. I'm proud to say that none of our schools were identified for improvement. We had decreases in all of our categories of our subgroups except for children with special needs, but it was not significant enough to create an improvement identification. These kinds of numbers are another sign that our district is moving in the right direction. We know our performance across the board was not where we wanted it to be last year, even though our district is a B. But this is a sign that we are moving in the right direction. And I just wanted to spread it upon the minutes that our principals and our teachers are working really hard this year, but also show you what their efforts produced last year. It's good numbers. We hope we maintain those decreases in those gaps across the state. There are surprisingly some A schools that are on improvement because of underperformance or increases in the gap between where they're supposed to be performing and where they're actually performing. And it put them on improvement. As you saw, that school improvement list was pretty lengthy. And I'm just grateful our schools are not there, and that's due to the effort of the students, staff, and teachers and principals. So kudos to them.
Thank you. Okay, LPBA report and approval to advertise.
All right, as you know, the LPA, we've not done the LPBA report in a number of years. During COVID, it was not done because the reading gate was paused. As you can see, our numbers are not quite where we want them to be, but when compared to across school districts across the state, we're in decent shape. We did have an increase in the number of level 2s and 3s and a decrease in the number of level 4s. That's shifting our bell curve. We want that to be fixed, but we need you to approve for us to go ahead and advertise it as state law. We'll need to advertise this in the local paper. All districts have to. If you don't have any questions, I so recommend that you approve for us to advertise.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 7.4, State Auditor Final Report.
This one I'm excited about, and we actually have a special guest with us tonight.
Woo-hoo!
We would love to give a special thank you, one, to everybody who participated in the state auditor. As you're aware, Chad White, state auditor, sent down a special envoy to do a full audit on our fixed assets. They were targeting specifically what devices we had for student devices and how we were using them, or if we were using them. And then they kind of narrowed the focus down, but they did look at a lot of stuff. And I will say that everybody worked really, really hard to prepare all the documents ahead of time. So much so that I think they over-impressed or super-impressed the state auditor who was here, to the point that they now want to use us as a model on how to do state audits. But I do know that technology, especially the principals, everybody in the schools worked really hard, but there is someone in the room that I think deserves some special recognition for handling the fixed assets to the point where we had a perfect audit.
Awesome.
And you never get perfect audits. They're going to find something. And this person, our state auditor, actually made the comment, I was not going to go and put something just to put something, because in fact, we had a perfect audit. In fact, we're the model on how to do it. And I just like to recognize Margie for her hard work.
Thank you so much.
And Margie, if she's hunting something, she will hound you until you find it too,
Well,
including me. Where's your sheet at? You know, back,
very well.
where's that Chromebook
You
at?
sign for this?
Yeah,
But no, I think Margie works really hard to
she taught me very
handle
well.
this and other things. You know, she has multiple functions in her job description, but this is one that could get us in trouble pretty quickly. But the fact that we had an unannounced, so to speak, state audit visit for fixed assets, and it was a perfect audit, that is something to be commended, and
Yes.
special thank you. It's
Thank
not-
you.
I mean, I know it's the whole business office,
Team
it's
effort.
everybody,
It is a team effort.
especially with the tech department having to deal with it, but everybody jumped in. I saw Deb, all of them back there preparing giant binders of stuff all the time, and just kudos to everybody who worked hard on this. So,
All right.
Thank you.
7.5, Early Warning System Quarterly Report.
this is your quarterly report. As you know, we've looked at these before, where you can see it focuses on attendance, it focuses on academics. The first part, you can see where we have kids who are already 21.3% of our kids across the district are off track, meaning they've missed more days than, of course, as you know, it's only 2 days. And it puts you on potential off track. But the principals are monitoring this. Each school has their own team where they look at the early warning system pieces. We monitor from the district level. And this is just your basic report. You can see the number of discipline referrals for each school as far as sliding off track. And, so if you get 2 discipline referrals, you're considered off track. So the number of, margin is really low, but that also helps us to identify children early. I will say a special note on our SEL counselors are playing a really good role in trying to help children stay on track with attendance. As you know, Mr. Dillon has kind of taken over as a default truancy officer since Marion County doesn't have a truancy officer for our district, and he's been running parents down and chasing folks and working with the principals to ensure that, kids are in school. And of course, you can also see the number of LFDs in both the east and west campuses by grade. And all in all, I think we're in pretty good shape. We do see a decrease in discipline numbers, but we are seeing an increase in attendance numbers, absences, because we've had a pretty good run of the flu, strep throat, and of course, even pneumonia in some cases. So it's been an interesting, fortunately, that's our attendance month, October and November, but we're dealing with it the best we can. Principals have done a good job trying to keep children safe and in school as much as possible. So concludes my report for early warning system, unless you have questions.
7.6, attendance report.
Mr. Dillon is actually headed to a conference tonight, focusing on that very piece. And so I'll present his attendance report. As you can see, there's your attendance report for October. I do believe we have West Marion Primary is with us tonight, and they were the attendance champion for the month of October with 93.5. They had the banner, I think, in their front yard at their school. So
Awesome.
kudos to West Marion Primary for being the attendance winner for the month of October. Those numbers are lower than normal, but again, all schools, I think, around the state have been facing a flu epidemic. In fact, our numbers, if it were COVID, we would have had some smaller quarantine issues, but it's the flu and other things. So that is our attendance report for October. And you'll have another one coming for November
Okay.
and December.
All right. 7.7, infrastructure itemization report.
All right, that is on the second page of that report that's in your packet. And basically at your request, I listed every project, facilities, upgrades, renovations, or just sort of quasi minor, major cleanup projects around campuses. I listed it based off of project description, funding source, where did we get the money to fund it, whether it was local, 3 mil note, or whether it was your infrastructure funds. I put the date the project was approved or began, and then I put the amount so you can actually see what we spent on all those projects and then what the location was. Some of those are listed as multiple locations because they were in pieces. But overall, you can see what was spent on the west side of the river and what was spent on the east side of the river with regards to cleanup projects and renovation. A couple of these are still ongoing, such as the gate projects, as you noticed. The gate project at East is underway. They actually have the gates up now. I am getting a quote to see what it would take to expand the East High Gate entrance. It's at 20 feet. We've gotten a few complaints that it may be too narrow. 2 cars can fit, but the one at West is 24 feet. I think the additional 2 feet on each side would make it a little easier for the change to occur. We're now working on getting the quotes and pieces together for the keypad system, a digital magnetic system that'll give options on how we can get the gates to open, as well as our door systems, just to enhance our security pieces. But hope to have those operational by January. Hopefully can bring the quotes to you in December and we can conclude the gate project. We are, as you saw, we are making progress and just about have finished the softball project upgrades at West Marion High. The lighting project at West Marion High is about to be underway. The There are a few painting projects and other projects that I have not added, but I'm gonna keep this as a running project list. I went back 8 years and listed every project for the last 8 years. And as you can see, the project started in 2021. I found no projects on record prior to that until I got back to Mr. Craig Robbins' time as superintendent. So these are the projects that you've approved, and I wanted you to see the work and the difference you were making on our campuses. And all these are coming from different funding sources, so it just does not have a huge impact on our fund balance. So
Thank you. All right. 7.8, approval of PRCC enrollment data.
actually,
Need to go into,
were those in the packet? Okay, I have them right here. Yes, ma'am, I recommend we go into executive to review since it does have confidential information. We'll take it just a second.
need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Go in closed session.
7.9, accreditation update from MDE.
Madam President, I forwarded the letter to the board the other day. We received our official notice of accreditation. We are fully accredited for this school year. Thank you to Mr. Foster and Tim for working to clean up a few issues we had left over from last year, but we are now fully accredited and ready to roll in the next year.
Awesome.
Okay, number 8, student personnel, 8.1, approval of revised athletic schedule, West Marion Junior High basketball.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 8.2, approval of discipline hearings for the month of October.
Had a chance to review those. If you have any you'd like to pull out, we can.
Okay.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Y'all have any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. Number 9, 9.1, approval of recommendations. All right. We've got,
Both certified and classified recommendations. I recommend we take the certified first in one vote.
okay,
If you'd like to pull one out separately, they'll recommend we approve. One of which is, you're aware, we hired on a 30-day rule for a
Right.
situation at East Marion Elementary.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. All right.
Also have a recommendation for one classified position. Actually, a couple classified.
Okay.
So recommend.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. All right. 9.2, approval of exceptions payroll.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 9.3, approval of job description.
Madam President, what you have here is the splitting of the two job descriptions. They were originally merged. Maintenance director and busing transportation director were merged into one job description. I separated those two. I will be making a move to separate and have a new person responsible for transportation to free Mr. Jerry up to do more focus on maintenance. So separate the two, no change in pay, just a shift in duties. But because the job descriptions were merged originally, I had to separate them. So therefore, I can hold them accountable for the job description. So recommend.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. Financial, 10.1, approval of claims docket numbers 241754 through 242564.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 10.2, approval of financial reports. 10.2.1, reconciled bank statements.
Motion.
Second. I'm sorry.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 10.2.2, fund balance analysis.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 10.2.3, Statement of Revenue and Expenditures, Current Budget Status by Fund.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 10.2.4, Cash Flow Statement by Month for District Maintenance.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 10.3, Approval of Fixed Assets Deletions.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. Sixteen section.
11.1, approval of lease assignment. Matthew Pittman, 37 acres, so recommend.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 11.2, Invitation to Bid.
11.2.1, 2, 3, and 4. I recommend we do an invitation bid on all of those.
Okay.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. Motion's passed. 11.3, Bid Opening.
Got two there. There's
You want me to write it?
Yeah, you're right. I ain't opening it.
Okay.
All right, we've got section 16.3N 12E 40 acres, Donald, L-A-B-A-T,
Levitt.
Levitt.
LABAT.
That's what it looks like. All right, he bids the sum of $25 per acre for 40 acres. The name was Donald Labatt, L-A-B-A-T, for a check totaling $1,034,
correct.
All right, and he did $25.
$25 an acre.
So that's what I put here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was 1,034.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
All right.
Here, I'll put it in for you.
This is for section 16.312, 40 acres, $20 an acre, from Jeffrey Anthony, $834.
Recommend we take the $25 an acre bid.
800 and what? 34.
Sorry,
Sorry.
834.
Okay.
From Mr. LeBlanc.
A bot. All right. This is section 16.518. $60 acres at $21.50 an acre from Kevlin Shaw, Kevlin Shaw. Check was a total of $1,290. Ma'am, $1,290. This is 16 5N 18W, 60 acres, $22 an acre. And this is from Robert Arnder, Arinder, Arnder. Check totaling $1,355. It's got here 22 an acre times 60 equals 1320 plus $35 recording fee, 1335. He's got 1335 written down here, but it's got 1355 here.
That's not right. That don't add up. $20 an acre would have been $1,200.
What's $22 an acre?
How much he bid? What's his check for?
$1,355.
That don't add up.
Well, what's $22 an acre times 60?
1,000.
What's 22 times 60, right?
Yeah.
Plus 34.
1320,
1320.
be 1355.
This is right.
Hmm.
This is right.
It's right?
1355 would be
$22 an acre for times 60 acres.
1320 plus 34.
Plus
1320 plus what?
That's 1354.
1354, 1355.
13.
he paid $1355.
Okay.
So
Like,
So take,
I recommend we go with Mr. Arringer then. $22 an acre.
all right. I need a motion to accept the highest bidders for those two
Motion.
leases.
second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay.
Yay. Motion's passed. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Yay.
Thank y'all, everyone.